Tips for a child welfare social worker. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe button below. Wondering if anyone could give me some tips? I am new to child welfare and I have been working for Child Youth Services for almost 5 months. I have my own caseload now and also do crisis days, etc. I have from the beginning, and it's now worse with my own caseload, always taken my work and feelings and stress home with me. I can't seem to make the cut and turn it off when I get home, and I feel like I am constantly anxious and on edge because of this. Any ideas to help me out? I'm almost at my wit's end. I can't continue on like this or my mental health will just be destroyed, and it's not that good to begin with. I think it might ease with some good self-care as well as some good supervision, but it also comes with self-care practice and experience, I think. Trauma stewardship by Laura Vandernoot Lipsky, and supervision has helped me. This will sound odd, but try it anyways. I visualize the stories I see and hear as little particles I've inhaled throughout the day. If I can't turn my brain off after work, I visualize blowing the particles into my cupped hand and tossing them over my shoulder. It seems to work for me. Leaving work at work is a skill that takes practice. You'll get the hang of it. You aren't doing it wrong, just keep trying. I've learned about myself that I have to physically do something to release some of that stress. So I go to CrossFit 3 times a week and it really helps. Don't work harder than your community members. Empower them to do their own stuff. I do yoga and that seems to help me. When I first started out like yourself, I had issues with not being able to turn it off once I got home. With experience, I am finally able to completely leave work at work and not bring it home with me. It will happen. It took me 12 years though to completely disassociate once I got home. Lol.
It's okay and healthy to utilize EAP.
I work as a trauma therapist, but engaging in my own work has made me such a better therapist. It has helped me learn my own trauma triggers and work through them as well as address vicarious trauma. I started running and some creative activity nightly, doodle, sew, cook fresh food, so that I could manage the stress and anxiety. I wish I would have done something when I got to this point years back. It ended up caused my medical issues and then other problems. I'm glad you seeking support. Get a good supervisor, maybe pay someone outside of your office. Use your EAP and/or go to counseling. Find your passion: running, art, yoga, music, dogs, sports, Hallmark movies, a good book, etc. Self-care is vital in our field. Find a good support system and talk to friends. See the humor in some of the horror you see. And remember that even in your worst of days, you just being there and having a safe presence for those kids will make a difference in their life. It may be only a moment, but the kid will likely remember a hug/high five or just being listened to and believed in. Even the worst of days, you are still making a difference. I've been doing SW for over 30 years and involved child welfare for the last 15. Along with treating yourself to whatever relaxes then recharges your energies, I would strongly suggest finding whatever form of spirituality grants you strength and lifts your heart. And if you don't take anything else serious from this old bat, take this, and I'm going to use caps to emphasize it: do not judge your worth or effectiveness by your clients' outcomes. You can control what you do, can influence what happens with the systems, and can set goals, terms, contracts. You can work hard and apply your skills, knowledge, and eventually experience. But you can't make your clients behave according to plan, can't make children unlearn or relearn things, or do the healing for them. I do look for what I call diamonds in the manure pile. Just enough little positive reinforcements, words of appreciation, smiles, etc. to help signal what you probably already know. The work is important. In and of itself, it's worth it. I think what makes us good at our jobs is partially our capacity to care where others maybe wouldn't. We see a lot of shitty stuff every day. It's hard to turn it completely off. Don't beat yourself up if you find you can't universally detach. I spend a lot of time in therapy for myself, make sure I have strict rules, and then follow them, about when I can do actual work tasks, and also have found it helpful to hide my phone at the end of the day, except for crisis days. Seriously. Turn that thing off. It's a small step that goes a long way. Having helpful friends who also do this work can be nice too because they know and they get it and will let you vent. You need to create space for yourself to not be helping someone or dealing with something. Maybe you hide in your bathtub for an hour with a book every night. Maybe you run. Maybe you bake. Make sure whatever you decide to do you aren't being helpful at all. It should be about you. Things need to be about you sometimes. When you get home, take a hot bath with a lavender bath bomb or bubble bath. Light lots of candles. Deep breath. I recommend color breathing. Close your eyes and imagine that you are surrounded by the most peaceful color you can think of. Breath in deep, imagine that it is going all the way to your toes. Exhale stress. Repeat until you can imagine your whole body is full of the peaceful color. Choose any color but red or orange. Research has shown that exposure to red and orange when stressed can make a person more anxious and easily angered by the stress. Don't ask me who and what, I read it a long time ago, master's level research. I graduated a long time ago, and have felt it to be true by my own experiences. Make sure you seek sound supervision and find your favorite self-care activities. Set boundaries for yourself in terms of scheduling and using your me time. Make friends with your anxiety by naming it your passion for doing a good job, as that can be what keeps you diligent. Breathe, and give yourself time to settle in and grow. And enjoy the ride. Go to the gym. It's my sanity. I get all my aggression and anxiety out and it helps me calm down. Definitely therapy can help. Outlets for sure. Exercise, friends, spiritual, emotional, etc. You may need to learn to detach so you do not bring your work home with you. When I first started in SW, I was the same way, being an empath and a healer. But I learned to leave people's mess at the door. Their door. On your way home, listen to your favorite music. Write down what your client talked about in your assessment. When you get home, take a relaxing bath, watch your fave TV show and eat your dinner and relax. Don't burn yourself out, which is doable in this field. Take it easy on yourself. Whatever your client is saying may be a trigger for you to carry it home, but again, leave it at their door. Never be afraid to advocate for yourself and ask for assistance. The biggest thing I have learned is to choose to focus on the positive and take a couple minutes after the workday to decompress and leave it all there. No matter what, I force myself to write down or type up my worries from the workday, then write down 3 positive things that happened that day and then do some self-care, whether it be breathing, listening to my sick, mindfulness, etc. We can't fix everything and we can't control what our clients face or what they choose to do. We do our best and have to take care of ourselves first. Everything is not our responsibility, and even one win from the day is enough. Make it a necessity to do what you love to relax. And if you need to see someone yourself, do it. It helps me. Don't measure your success based on outcomes. Qualitative data is important too. Burnout is very big in our profession. Depending on the field that you go into can determine how quickly this can potentially happen. You need to do something for yourself that is relaxing and fun. As far as taking the work home with you in your head, after 15 years I do the same thing. I have gotten somewhat better over the years. However, I still take the stress home. I think that this is the case in a lot of occupations. However, working with people directly is very stressful. To begin with, supervision, debrief where you can. Eat properly and sleep. Don't drink in excess and no drugs. Maybe a bit of chocolate. Work on some pretty good mantras. Fuck this shit helps, and I do say for fuck's sake about 1,000,000 times per day. Stroke a dog or cat. Get one. Laugh as much as you can. Pray, but above all go kindly and compassionately towards yourself. Fuck this shit, we ain't miracle workers. Have a spiritual practice whereby you dump it, leave that load, cause as you are aware it is still waiting for you the following day. You ain't getting paid overtime, so really ... Yeah, you got this, love. Peace. Get a good therapist who has worked the front line in your field. We use a lot of meditation, energy work, Reiki and guided imagery. I also set pretty strong boundaries around my caseload, and I do not let supervisors, clients or anyone bully me into doing something that does not feel right in my gut or heart. I walk, have fluffy pets to help me distress, and watch lots of things that make me laugh. Movies, comedies, social media. My trick is to literally change my outfit as soon as I get in the door. It started doing it out of necessity when I was doing home visits in houses with cockroach infestations or with heavy odors, but I found that when I took my work clothes off, I felt more present at home. There are millions of tricks to the trade and you will find yours. But if you don't, and it's not for you, that's okay too. No job is worth destroying yourself over. You need to watch your self-talk. When those thoughts creep in, change them. Here are my favorites. I can't control what others do, I do the best of my ability. Whatever happens, happens. Whenever you start thinking about a case or something going on at work and you're at home, automatically stop yourself and change your thought. It takes time, but it really does help build that wall of home and work. Also, I have an app called Remind Me on my phone, so say I forgot to reply to someone or I need to do a report or whatever. If I'm off, I just quickly go to the app, write a reminder, and that allows me to not obsess about it while I'm at home. CPS is not for everyone. If it continues to affect you negatively, it's okay to start to look for different work. I have worked for CPS for almost 30 years, 7 as a supervisor. The best advice is to remember that all emergencies and crises are not true emergencies. Your job is to assess risk, safety of children, so don't get sucked into unnecessary drama. Remember that you are family focused and not family friendly, which means that you need to set boundaries for clients and not be accessible to them after business hours and weekends. They have been functioning in this dysfunctional for a long time and can come up with solutions if needed. If you feel overwhelmed, don't be afraid to pack up and leave even in the middle of the workday. If you are not at your best, you cannot make sound decisions and assessments for others. Ask for help from colleagues. If they are making a visit near your family, ask them to follow up and vice versa. CPS was not meant to be handled alone. Finally, take care of yourself. Your agency was running before you got there and will run after you leave. If you drop dead, they will post your position before they post your obituary. Hope this helps. I started yoga. I love it and it's changed my life. I've been in child welfare for 12 years. Self-care is critical. Family vacations. Camping at a seasonal campsite close to work so I feel like I'm living at the lake. I'm not sure if anyone suggested this, but I pick a place, a sign on the side of the road, and I mentally leave my clients there. I actually imagine dropping them off. They're safe and warm and will be there for me to pick up the next day on my way to work. It sounds weird, but it helps, as someone who has been in the field for 20+ years. 1. Have to set days you will allow yourself to work late for home visit. 2. Learn to do documentation in your car through talk to text or typing after a visit. 3. Schedule in documentation time like you schedule visit. Know that everyone gets behind. 4. Remember what made you smile. Put them on your calendar just like you do a doctor's appointment. Do not allow yourself to cancel them. In other words, schedule your self-care. You need to put on your oxygen mask before you can help anyone else. 5. Travel. Schedule vacations. I have done international travel on a budget for years. I make a point to go someplace at least once or twice a year. My travel has turned into a part-time job as a home-based travel agent. Thanks for watching. Check back next week for a new video. Don't forget your self-care. Click the thumbs up and subscribe button below.